Back in November, the Steelers dominated their first matchup against the Ravens. Can Baltimore get revenge? Find out next on EA Sports.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Jackson to throw. And his first look is incomplete. For these two division rivals, the schedule maker gave them a couple of second-half meetings this year. They met for the first time back in Week 11, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman.
And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson.
Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
Mark Andrews, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw is Rosen. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43.
On the give, this is Harris. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble,
and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second.
Yeah, baby.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Rosen. Harris has it over the middle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Now a first down carry for Harris. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Rosen. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Rosen will throw, and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now it's Rosen. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd and goal, Rosen. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. PAT up and good by Rosas.
And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it. Can't afford any more missteps, though.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Play action. It's Jackson.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with a bandit.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They go play action now. Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
These two teams all tied after 1. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Jackson. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Oh, man. Can't do that.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Jackson on first down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
That is caught. Rashad Bateman.
And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Rashad Bateman.
His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker with the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed, but as we know it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
Oh, you're so right about that, but even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
They go play action. It's Rosen.
Open man completes it to Claypool.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Rosen off the play action. This is caught. And in for the Steelers touchdown.
Pat Freiermuth.
His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Rosas good with the extra point, and we are tied here in the second quarter. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Let's go!
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action. Now Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
They find some open field here. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
They go play action with Jackson.
He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Dobbins hit and he fumbles.
And it looks like Steeler football. It is. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
But normally you see three tight ends in a formation, you have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or two towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
Play action here with Rosen. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Now Jackson. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
A big play that time for Pittsburgh. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. Here's 2nd and 10. And now it's Rosen looking. Ebron with it over the middle. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. On play action, Rosen. He'll buy some time right. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Rosas' kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with him trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. To throw on 2nd and 10, Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Here's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way down to the 5. So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens can take the lead now if they hit the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that will give him the lead here as we get on towards halftime. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here comes Johnson on the return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, and not much time, we'll see how they play this. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we've reached halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the 2nd half. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the 2nd half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
They'll run on first down. It's Harris, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, these two teams met in Pittsburgh earlier in the year, with the Steelers prevailing in that one. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep.
On 2nd and 9, Rosen. Open man is Trey Burton. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here's Rosen to throw.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. And he will have a Steelers first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They hand this off to Harris, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Malik Harrison
just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Rosen. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
A 3rd quarter now, and a 1-point game as they line up 2nd and 10.
To throw is Rosen.
He's got Claypool for a Steeler touchdown. Chase Claypool
with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Now Rosen will lead him up here to go for 2. Rosen, he's going to look to throw for it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. They'll throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the... In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw.
He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he will have a Steelers first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on the punt for the first time this afternoon.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
2nd and 8 coming up.
Jackson.
He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion good for just 3. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They go play action now. Jackson. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And my initial thought was that maybe he was just trying to blindly throw this one away, and maybe he was. But he's going to get away with it because as he tried to throw it over the left sideline there's a receiver right there in the area, so no grounding call.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on to kick this one away. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
On 2nd down, it's Hubbard.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. On 2nd down, this is Harris. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now the objective